Hello, Carissa.
Hi, Kylie.
So excited to be here with you today. I know we were just kind of bantering back and forth. We're excited to do a little bit of a different format for our listeners.
Yes, we're just going to banter about some work-life balance, having a podcast, being a mom, and yeah, I guess can I say a little introduction about me, and then you can say one for about you to my audience?
I love it. Perfect.
Okay, I'm Carissa Woo, been wedding photographer for 15 years, turned wedding coach. Now I do digital affiliate marketing, and I've been podcasting for about 2 years. So I know you've been doing a lot longer, but I have 185 episodes, and this will be airing on Get a Heck Yes. And mostly my audience is wedding professionals.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, so fun. So I am Kylie. My podcast is Podcast Growth Tools, and I really serve female entrepreneurs who have a podcast. And I've been in the podcast industry for over a decade. I supported Amy Porterfield and ran her podcast for 5 years, supported Kathy Heller, and just kind of moved on to creating my own business and really supporting female entrepreneurs with podcasting and growth and all the things that come along with figuring out how to use your podcast as a big part of your business to grow your audience. So,
Oh, yes. I mean, when you say Amy Porterfield, I'm just like, oh my God, that's like a star in the online industry, star beyond the star. Tell me what it was like to like work for her and how that all came about. And I guess for anyone that is living under a rock, tell us who she is.
yes, yeah. Oh my gosh, Amy is amazing. So she has a course called Digital Course Academy, which it basically teaches online entrepreneurs how to create a digital course and sell it. And she really is like the queen of online marketing, I would say.
Yep.
And working for her was such an honor. I love her so dearly. And it's so funny because she's been around for like I think 16 years now or something. And when I started working for her almost 6 years ago, I remember my first meeting. They flew me to San Diego like on the very first day that I started. And I had listened to her podcast. I had known about her for a few years. And I left there and I called my friend and I was like, she's just like you would imagine. She's just as sweet. Her voice sounds the same. Like she's just as genuine. Um,
Wow.
so it was such an honor, but it was just so fun to be able to run her podcast. We grew it by 234% in like 6 months. And that was just a
Whoa.
huge, exciting journey. So
Oh
yeah,
my God, that's so crazy. I mean, I kind of even stopped listening to her for a while because I was just learning way too much at a rapid speed. It's like my mind's gonna explode. This is like too beefy, like content. She's just so good.
I know. Well, Carissa, I would love to hear a little bit more about like your journey from being a photographer to really taking things online. Like, what was that for you, and what has that done for you as an entrepreneur, as a photographer, as a mom?
Yeah, I think it was during COVID, and then I got a taste of like the quiet life and the life that you just kind of stay home. I was having my second kid, so she's definitely a COVID baby. We had to wear masks while I was in labor. So that was kind of awkward, but I got to stay home for like a year and a half and I kind of liked it. So I got into the education space, and then yeah, my gateway drug to online world was Amy Porterfield. So I did take her course about course creation, and then I did like James Wedmore, and then a bunch of courses, and then just went down that like rabbit hole. So I did the whole like business coaching thing for about 3 years.
So you did like consulting and then moved to a digital course? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of did like a bunch of different like courses, and then like lead magnets, and then started the podcast, wrote a book, and all the things that you do on like the online space, like become a coach, and get clients and sales calls, and just it was a lot.
So impressive as a mom of 2, like, navigating post-COVID. So and you also do you're really an expert around affiliate marketing as well. So what how did that come into the scene, and how do you use that in your business?
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, affiliate marketing is just like selling other people's courses, but these courses are like made to be sold. Wedding coaching was, to be honest, it was kind of hard. It was a lot of client facing, it was a lot of deliverables, it was a lot of sales calls, and I felt like a lot of pressure to get to my clients' results. Maybe if I was more experienced, I would know how to like deal with boundaries and expectations better. But it was just a lot. And then so when I found like digital affiliate marketing, it was more like plug and play. And then once you make a sale, you don't really have to do much because like everything's already in the course, like even customer service and like coaching calls and stuff. So it was more fitting for my life. Yeah. How about you? Tell me your journey.
Well, kind of like I said early on, I was with Amy for a long time. I moved on to support Kathy, and it was kind of the stepping stones I needed. So my daughter's 2, I just have 1. And about a year ago, I just started like something in me started twisting a little bit. And I'm like, gosh, I sure would love to be my own boss. I wonder what that would be like. I feel like I've gotten some results. I have the systems. And so in January, I decided to go all in on it, and it's been a great journey. And I am definitely in a season of taking clients one on one. And so the things that you're saying, I can understand and relate to. And I am actually in the process of moving into offering a digital course. I'm going to do a beta launch starting next week. So there's been
Ooh.
a lot of, I know, a lot of like excitement and a lot of people signing up for the wait list. So I'm excited for that. But really, at the end of the day, I just am so passionate about making sure that female entrepreneurs who have a podcast keep using it and keep doing it and don't give up on it. And then use the content that they're creating and all the work and energy that they're putting into it to really drive results and revenue in their business. So it's been an amazing
Yeah.
journey.
I love your podcast. I mean, I learned so much. I told you I like sent it to my new podcasting friends about like how to get the lead magnet and the email list and then how to turn that into like selling your courses and even getting sponsorships. So I wish I found your podcast sooner, but I was like, wow, like I learned so much in this one master class and it was free.
Oh, I'm so glad. I know that's really where I see, if we were to like say if there is a mistake that I see female entrepreneurs or podcasters across the board making, it's kind of just putting out this content and hoping people go to your website or go grab your free resource or go check you out on Instagram. And there's such a disconnect for people to go from listening to their podcast because we're always multitasking, right? It's like listening to the podcast, I'm doing dishes or I'm going for a walk or I'm picking up the kids. And so it's not a quick and easy thing to just go and search somebody. And so really making the connection, and my favorite way to do that is creating a podcast centric quiz. And so making it really juicy and like, oh, I have to do that. I have to go to carissawoo.com
Ooh,
quiz and I have to find out my results because I need to know,
wow.
what it is. And then sneaking the podcast into that as a playlist is so
Ooh.
effective. And then what do? You move them to your offer at the end of that nurture sequence too. So it kind of supports on all ends, I would say.
Oh, this is kind of mind blowing to me. I gotta kind of pick your brain a little bit after the recording, but that sounds amazing.
I love that. So talk to me a little bit, Carissa, talk to me about why you started a podcast and like what that has meant to you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it's like almost it feels so long that I just like kind of forget. But actually, hired like a business coach, so
Mhm.
she specialized in coaches, not specific to weddings or wedding professionals, but she specifically was into like getting leads.
Mm.
So we did like I paid it was like a high ticket program, but I did like a couple one-on-ones with her, but she's the one that was like, do the podcast. So she sent me like a girl that set up everything for like $700 and she like edited the first 3 and then did the intro and the stuff you could probably like learn easily these days. But it was just like nice to have someone hold my hand and just like kind of make me do it. So I texted like 3 of my closest friends and that was a start, and then the first year was kinda rough, like, it was
Mm.
kinda like internet issues. It was it's so funny, like Wi-Fi issues, not being able to get on or, like, kinda it being a little bit spotty, and it was so, like, panicky, and then once I, like, figured that out, then it was a lot easier. It's like, who would have thought?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But
Good
yeah,
old
I love it. I have, one big sponsor, 17 Hats, so I had been previously using them, for like 7, 8 years. And then I reached out to them, had a meeting with them, and I kind of like manifested this really amazing brand deal. And then I promote them a lot, and then they pay me a good amount every month. So like 2 car payments worth. So it's I feel like that's kind of all I need, and I get so much out of it. Like I built so many like connections and friendships,
Mm,
and I've learned so much.
that's so great. Okay, so I want to back up because I think I can like hear my audience just wondering. Talk to me a little bit more about that sponsorship and like how you reached out to them and what those calls were and how you kind of packaged your podcast and your brand to really seem sexy. So they wanted to actually give you a brand deal.
Good question. I did make like a slide deck for myself, so a pitch deck. So I like put some of my speaking engagements, some of my like day in the life reels, some UGC content that I didn't even know what UGC was, but I had it. Pictures of me, bios, testimonials. So I made it all pretty, and then I just like kind of set up a call, and then like I pitched them that way, and I kind of had a number in my mind that I wanted. And then no matter what number that was, like I was gonna like over deliver on that. So we have a contract, and then I have like a commercial in every podcast, but then and posting stories, but then I give them like added value. Sometimes I make like a cute little like video, or like I like drop their name, or um like they're always like kind of on my mind. So
Yeah.
17 hats, love you. Automate your business, use code heck guess. How about you? Tell me about um like your journey of podcasting, and like how you evolved, and like what things that you learned along the way.
Oh my gosh. It's so interesting because I had a podcast in 20 I want to say like 2013 with just a girlfriend. We were both certified health coaches.
Oh, nice.
Kind of fizzled out. It was called Love Rising and it was like health coaching and just like mindset and all that stuff, right? We all had that phase um and then it fizzled out cuz we just got busy like she had kids and yada yada and then I started working for Amy and so I ran Amy's podcast but didn't have my own. And right, so that was such a learning experience when it came to running a really highly effective flow and system for putting out the some of the world's best podcasts episodes that there are,
Yeah.
especially in the world of entrepreneurship. And so that, and then it was really also like, we had the podcast in the golden age of podcasts
Yeah, I heard that.
before the iOS update happened. And so it was like navigating that and really learning that downloads are such a terrible metric, even though that's what the industry leans on.
Yeah.
But I would say okay, so this is fun. I did this chat GPT or I created this chat GPT prompt that was like, I think I took my birth chart and I took my human design, and did I take one more thing? I can't remember, but I was like, "Based on these things, what kind of podcast should I start?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Everything."
I love that.
So fun. And what came up was, "You should start a podcast called It Was Never About the Podcast and interview female podcasters and like they started a podcast but it honestly turned out to be something so much bigger and, like you said, you've created friendships from the podcast and you've met new people and you've had new experiences and your eyes were open to new thoughts. And I feel like it's not just you. Every female entrepreneur I talk to, like I had Patrice Washington on my podcast, Kathy Heller, Amy Porterfield, Joanne Bolt, Jessica Marks, and all of them are like, it's so much more than the podcast. It's like this living, breathing thing that brings us as females together and just allows us to have just this like virtual relationship that feels really genuine and
Yeah.
our listeners kind of that taste to it. So I veered off from your original question on that, but
No, you're so bubbly, and I'm just in the zone, so I'm listening. I don't even know what the question was.
that's really how I feel. That's what I've been loving so much is having conversations with women like you and be like, what has it become for you? what does it feel for you when you're like, I get to you think of the people and the women and the connections that you've made from the podcast. Like what does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I was really shy for like a long time, and I think it kind of helped my photography business in a way. Like I was very awkward, but I was all about like the blog, and like I would blog every wedding and it'd take me 4 hours. And then I would like post that blog to like Facebook and like the venue's Facebook and everything. But very introverted. But then when I became a coach, I couldn't be like introverted anymore. I kind of had to like network and put myself out there. Like I had never networked in my whole entire career ever. Like, and if I went to somewhere, I would just be like to get drunk and like with a friend, and then just like peace out. But yeah, I had to learn so many skills, and then like now my networking skills are like so good. Like
Mm.
I'm just like meeting people left and right. I'm like VP of marketing for WIPA. Like I'm like getting new people to come in all the time. And I'm just like a networking machine. And then people are like, ask me to do free stuff and I will. Oh, can you help us with like this mom walk or like this stuff? I'm like, anything that aligns with me, I will still do it for free because if I could bring my kids and it's like a fun experience and it's like a win-win. But it's just like my name's getting like passed around, like, and then like after this, I'm on like Eden Strider's podcast, and she reached out to me, and she was like, "Oh, you're like we're doing this segment on like serial entrepreneurs, and we want you to be on." I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe like she knows me." So I was like, "Wow, I'm kind of flattered." Yeah, it just meant so much to me. So I just like I've kind of become like a different person.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can feel you on that because I can be a little bit of an introvert, but I do always feel like it's so easy to just open up and let the conversation flow on these types of on this type of a platform, so
Yeah. What was it like for you? Like, your early mother. So your daughter's 2. What was it like being pregnant and like your life then and then like having the baby and then now balancing everything?
oh my goodness. So, I was still an employee up until she was, like, 18 months, I suppose, and so I am such a you know how you said with your consulting clients, it's like you just had such high expectations of delivering. I feel that way now for sure, but I also felt so much like that for as an employee. And so I certainly feel like I was more stressed than I would have liked to be when I was carrying my daughter.
Yeah.
And we have this this unique lifestyle. We live on the road full time. We live in a fifth wheel and we camp on like public land a lot of the time. And so it's a very unique lifestyle,
Wow.
especially for raising a child. We don't always have support in our backyard. And so it has been honestly a journey of like discovering and unfolding what I need to just let roll off my back and give myself grace for, especially starting this business. Going into becoming an entrepreneur and being a mom. My husband was actually stay-at-home dad for the almost the first full 2 years of her life, which we are so lucky. And so I think that, you know, it's just been it's been interesting. I guess I've always had dreams of being an entrepreneur, but she really tipped me over the edge to just like jump in and be like, "We're doing it. We're going for it." Because I don't want to I don't want to be on somebody else's like schedule when I want her to be a priority, the priority in my life. And I also don't want to be building somebody else's dream when I could be building my own. I feel like
Yeah.
and so, man, becoming a mom just like it makes you really analyze everything. And even now, I'll admit I'd love to hear what your kids do, but we do have her in daycare right now. It's a
Mm.
very small home daycare, and one of my best friends, her daughter goes there. And so we made the connection, and this woman is a saint. And she even parents, she has 4 kids, and she parents so much like my husband and I. So I feel so blessed and I feel so guilty sending her to daycare. She does like 4 days a week. And I still have that guilt that it's like, why am I putting myself and my business first? Am I doing something bad as a mom where I should have her home and be a stay-at-home mom full time? But I feel like me personally, I do feel inspired by having something of my own to build and pour into. So what do you think about all that? And have you had any of those thoughts or experiences?
Yeah, of course. This girl probably gave me the best advice on my whole podcast. I forget her name. I think it's like Rachel Weaver or something, but she's like amazing film, like family photographer, but she has 7 kids.
Oh
And
my
she said her best parenting advice is you don't have to play with them all the time,
That's
but when you do, just be present.
such a good.
So if you're like, you pick up at 4 o'clock or whatever, 5 o'clock, then just it's her time and
Yeah.
that's it. And that's enough. So I think for me, like work is really important. It's like my top value and friendship. So it was yeah, I have to have like some sort of passion or creativity in my life or I kind of get depressed. Um and I could play and stuff, but it's like I have to like be driving towards something. And
Yeah.
so that makes me like a better mom. And so just to like to find your balance. I mean, your daughter's still only 2. But it's gonna get a little easier once she's like completely potty trained and like could kind of do a little bit of things by yourself. So you're kind of in the woods for a couple more years.
Oh, I love that. I know. Isn't that funny? My husband is so cute. He's like, I just listened to this podcast and the guy was said, they're only little for 4 years. They're really only little for 4 years and it goes so fast. And I thought that was so good to remember that. And
Yeah.
also I have to toot somebody's horn. So she's pretty much potty trained because we did
Wow.
elimination communication. Have you heard of this?
No. Tell
Okay.
me.
Oh gosh. So yeah, if anyone else is if you're having kids or thinking about it, so we use the Go Diaper Free method. And so this is by Andrea, I can't remember, but she was also an Amy student. And basically you start potty training from day one. So we hold her over what's called like a little top hat potty, and it looks like a
Oh.
top hat. Like you can flip it.
Uh-huh.
And I have a picture of my husband holding her. She's like 6 pounds over this tiny potty, and we caught her meconium in there. And yeah, it was like just my husband so hard. He's like, just for that, it was worth it.
Wow.
We continued to potty her as much as we could. And hey guys, warning about poop coming up, but we're gonna talk about it. Um, she like has not pooped in a diaper in probably over a year. Like we don't have that issue. We're moving. Actually, catching the peas has been more
Uh-huh.
difficult, but she literally just I would say in the last like 3 weeks is like telling us officially. So
Oh my
it
god, that's amazing. That's so young.
look into it. It's called Go Diaper Free.
Wow.
And it's been worth it. Like, it's a little bit of a grind because 'cause you're like, "What are we doing? We're holding her over this potty when she's, like, so little." But her whole idea is that, like, ancestrally, we didn't have diapers, and so, it's become a little bit of a market to have our kids in diapers as long as possible so diaper companies can make more money.
Yeah.
We can train them through signals and cues and things like that. Very fast, very
That's
fast.
amazing. Tell me about your 5-wheel life. I never even heard that term, but like what made you do that and like where have you gone and like where have you traveled and also like do you plan on doing it forever?
Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Only a mom would say it that way, like, "Do you plan to do this forever?" Because you're like, "What?" So, yeah, I can share about this. My husband and I okay, so my husband is we're both from Minnesota originally, and he is a 3rd generation farmer. And
Oh
so
wow.
every winter, he'd have winters off. I worked online. So we had a van, like a converted Sprinter van, and we'd go down to Arizona and Utah in the winters. And we love to mountain bike. So we're just like looking where we can go mountain biking. And so we did the van life for 5 years. And then
Wow.
when we got pregnant with Clove, we decided, oh, you know what? We're going to do a truck camper. So a truck camper is a camper that fits into the bed of your pickup. So it's not big by any means.
Wow.
But we renovated one and lived in that with her and our 2 80-pound dogs
Wow.
for like 6 months. And then we're like, this is way too small. So we wanted to continue to do it. So we upgraded to a fifth wheel, which is like a camper that sits in the back of your pickup kind of.
Wow.
And it's huge. Like it really is. Like this is our bedroom and office. I have like a desk that goes up and down. Our bed is above right now. She has her own room. And it is really fun. And we are talking about trying for a second. And so that might change things a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my god, how fun.
Having some support would be good.
Do you
But
have
yeah,
an
we've
Instagram
done
for your van life?
what's that?
Do you have an Instagram for your van life?
Not really. No, no. We don't. Yep. And you know what's so funny is, like, my husband built out the van and he's like, it's just not as sexy as the vans you see on Instagram, but it's super practical. Like,
Yeah.
we have
How
a
did you meet your
shower.
hubby?
We both he was my CrossFit coach
Whoa.
13 years ago, so yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, how about you? Tell me about your kiddos and your hubby.
Hubby, we met in high school, but then we got together like later. And then I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, Piper and Callie. And
Oh,
then we live in Torrance. Me and my hubby went to high school in Torrance. So it's like
okay.
people always joked around with me because I like my whole life is like a 10-mile radius. Like always. So I'm like, I know everyone and it's just my parents live like 3 doors down and yeah,
That's
it's I've always wanted to get married, so I kinda just, like, kinda stuck around, and yeah, we're happy. My husband's a cop for Englewood, and then, he has a steady job, so that's nice, and then, yeah, I just feel like I went through a lot of, like, postpartum that was
mm,
tough. After pandemic 2021, I shot because everything got pushed forward. So
oh,
I shot 36 weddings when I had like a 1 and 4-year-old. So I had like crazy mental breakdown, like lost all my friends, total crazy happened. But then I kind of got out of it. And then, yeah, I'm like in a really good place now. So it's kind of like that comparison of being like, oh,
mm,
I'm so thankful for like my life. And I struggle with a lot of anxiety, and I kinda got out of that, so every day I'm just like, I feel so blessed, and I'm very, like when anything, like, refers me, I always just, like I DMs them, "Oh my god, thank you," like, "Let me give your family a family shoot," just
mm,
very thankful for everything, and that's kinda how I'm living my life these
yeah,
days at 40.
that's so beautiful. So, I can relate to the postpartum. It is just so difficult, and especially having 2 little ones like that. How do you feel like you navigated your way out of that? And honestly, I think it's like so just time, right? Like just time, the benefit of time. But what was that like for you to move through that? And what did you prioritize to get on the other side of that?
Yeah, I mean, it was partly, like, God, it was asking for like a prayer. It was changing from like being a business coach to like affiliate marketing. It's a
Mm,
lot easier. Like I still have to work it as a job, but it's like I don't feel the pressure of like delivering. So I
mm,
just have to like market myself. And I could work on the ins and outs of the business like when I feel like it. So like say I have like I was at Knott's Berry Farm and then I was like had got into affiliate marketing. I was like, had this motivation. I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna go home and like just go through the course. So then I got home and the kids are just talking to me, goes, don't talk to me, like I gotta get through this course, this funnel. And then so I got like the funnel up and running. And usually I would outsource that to like a VA, but I've kind of been learning to just do things myself
mm,
and it's so much more empowering. It takes time, like, oh, this link doesn't work, or why is this not working? But then you learn so much when you do it yourself, and then I could like fix things now. So I got like that first funnel up and running, and I was, like, so proud of myself. I'm like, "Oh my god, like, I did it." I forgot the question. Just re
Oh, no, I love where this is going. Go with it.
yeah,
We can always go back to the question. I love this. This part is so good.
yeah. But, yeah, it just was a question about, like, balance?
Oh, yeah, the question was about navigating postpartum
Oh,
depression. But no, I love that you were talking about just how empowering it is. Like, I think about a lot of people I speak with are newer entrepreneurs who have a podcast, and I'll talk to them about funnels. Obviously, I teach marketing basically, and it's so overwhelming, but going through it on your own instead of outsourcing it is so empowering. So
yeah.
I very much with you on that.
Yeah, I forgot whose podcast I was listening to, but they're pretty popular, and they're saying, like, their brain was complete mush for, like, 2, 3 years, and I totally felt that, like, I remember, like, the first week of having the second kid, they're like, the Billy Blanket, I was on the phone with the Billy Blanket people, and I was like, "I know there's words coming out of your mouth, but I don't know what you're saying." And that's how I felt for, like, 2 years, just like it's like, "Wah, wah, wah, wah." I just couldn't process things because there's just too much going on, but yeah, my kid's crying right now.
Right? And then you that happens. So your kids are home during the day?
Yeah, so I am, like affiliate marketing has changed my life, like, I could actually they're home the whole entire summer, so I have 0 daycare, 0 nannies, um, but, I mean, they're a little bit older, so 5 and 8, so they could just watch TV or do their own thing, but I could never have this life if it wasn't for that.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And I think what's amazing about that is just seeing, yeah, women,
Oh, yeah,
moms.
okay, so to answer your question, okay, so navigating postpartum, a little bit of meds, a little bit of God, a little bit of, vulnerability to my husband, a little bit of, finding a new career path, a little
Yeah.
bit of gratitude, systems are really important. I was always, like, really bad with time blocking because my whole life is just, like, working, so it was really hard for me to, like, not work when I'm with my kids, but
Wow.
then now it's, like, kinda better where, like, I wake up and I try to meditate and do my morning routine, and then maybe, like, if I have to get, like, 2, 3-hour time block, I'll, like, go somewhere to work instead of, like, constantly working when they're in, like, jujitsu or the car or whatever, so I'm, like, giving me that space to, like, just work, and then when I come home, like, not have like, be able to shut that off, and that was very hard for me to do.
Mm.
But I think it kinda helps with, like, the mom guilt, so, like, when you do shut it down, you, like, could actually, like, listen instead of be like, "Mommy, mommy," you're like, "Oh, what'd you say?" You know?
Yeah, like splitting the mental load for like, okay, they need me, but I need to get this done. And just it's definitely a learned skill, I would say, because I think especially so, our daughter, like I said, she went into a daycare, and so I have 4 days a week where I can really devote, which it feels like a lot, but it goes quickly, especially when you also, like, try to manage the house, like meals and groceries and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's interesting. I do think a lot about, like, I know Lindsay Roselle and, Natalie Ellis talk a lot about, like, the load that the mother carries, and, it can be a lot, but we're here for it, and I think having this community and kinda going back to the whole idea about, like, meeting people like you. I mean, I'm just like, I so resonate with everything you say. I hope that this evolves into some sort of longer term friendship that we have, and
Yeah, I would
so
love that.
it's like that's what the podcast is so beautiful for. It's just having and this style that we're doing right now, it feels like we're just having, like, coffee or tea together, and it feels really fun.
Totally. Tell me how you grew, like, Amy, Porterfield's podcast 234% in the 6 months, and then, like, also allude that into how, like, wedding pros or entrepreneurs could start a podcast, and why.
Yeah, so, the work that I do is very much, for more established podcasters or somebody who I always say, like, if you've been podcasting for a year, my services will support you much better, because the way that we do it is really set up these marketing funnels that are strong and consistently bringing in the right ideal customers for your business and also listeners for your podcast. So there's a handful of things we do. One of the main things that I can kind of hinted at earlier was creating a podcast centric quiz. And so again, it's like this juicy resource. It's sexier than your basic lead magnet. Everybody loves a quiz. They actually add CPLs to add is cheaper than any other lead magnet. And
Wow.
yeah, you bring them into your world, you give them this really fleshed out, juicy results that include your podcast episodes that are perfect for them. And then you move them through your nurture sequence, continuing to remind them to follow your podcast, listen to your episodes. Oh, and by the way, I have this offer that's perfect for where you are. And we know it's perfect for them because they've taken the very strategic quiz. So that's
Wow.
big one, and using that to just, like, bring new people into your world and drive them to your podcast, consistently, like, having recommend having, ad spend, just, like, even low-level ad spend to it all throughout the year.
Wow.
So that's one, and then other than that is creating these podcast-centric bundles, and so you just take a topic that you know your audience is really interested in. For instance, for, like, wedding professionals, maybe it would be like, I don't know, what's like a hot topic in the wedding professional space?
It's always like everyone wants to know social media, but
Okay, so say you have 5 episodes from your podcast that are great for using social media to grow your wedding, your wedding profession platform. That was not spoken well, but anyways, so you create this bundle with your podcast episodes. Literally, it's just 5 episodes, and you put it everywhere. You put it on your website, on pop-ups, you put it on the banner on your website, you promote it as a DM on social media a couple times a week. Hey, by the way, I put together this bundle for you. It is walking you through everything you need to know about creating a social presence. Comment bundle, I'll send it to you. So you have your automated DMs. You can even do it as a dynamic ad on your podcast. So you just place it against all your back catalog and say, again, same thing that you would say anywhere else. I have this bundle
yeah.
for you. And because they already listen, because you already know they like to listen to the podcast, they're going to be so excited. Oh, this is so specific versus you have 200 episodes. Now I have to scroll through 200 episodes to find the ones that I want where you're giving it tailored to them. So that's a really big one. Like one of my clients, she did this on her website and she had 35 or 3,700 people sign up for her email list and drive to the podcast in like a week and a half from this
Whoa,
strategy.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then other than that, there's a lot of SEO, like being really intentional with keywords, key phrases in your show notes, your descriptions, your episode titles, all that kind of
Wow.
stuff. So lots of little tidbits that I developed with Amy and now I use with my clients. So
So for the quiz, like say for wedding professionals, do you have any ideas? And then what like platform do you use to host a quiz?
like the quiz topic.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I want to say something specific because of what it really comes down to is asking yourself the questions of what does my audience need the most? So figuring out their pain points, their wants, their desires, and then creating a quiz based on those things.
Oh wow.
So that's why it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
hard.
yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'll ask
And then also
ChatGPT to help
asking
me.
like who are your results? Who are the results that this would be? Like 3 to 4 results and then that will help craft your quiz topic. And then I love to use Interact Quiz is my favorite platform.
Okay.
Unless you're doing a score-based app. So a score-based app might be let's take the quiz and you'll find out how your wedding professional time management is or something like that. I don't know. What's a
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Then you could use Score app, but Interact is my absolute favorite. So
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that could be totally game changer for me.
yes, I love it. Well, okay, so I would love to give you one more question, then we can wrap things up here too. But, when it comes to any podcasters listening, how could they use because I know you have like the wealth creators circle and things like that. Like, how could podcasters use that and this affiliate marketing that's totally changed your life? Like, how can we be using that too?
Yeah, I mean, my whole pitch, which is, I don't know, kind of, I like to like call people out, but I just say like, stop giving your expertise out for free. Because as soon as like you get a little bit of traction, people are just like leeches. You're just like, "Oh, let me pick your brain. Let me take you to coffee. Like, let me do a Zoom, blah, blah, blah." And then they just like, "Oh, let me come with you to the wedding. As soon as I get the portfolio photos, like peace out, you'll never see them again." They're like pushing you out of the way to like get their shot or whatever. So I'm like, just you have so much knowledge and you have something to share with the world. So like why not turn that into a digital product? So like WCC Wealth Creator Circle like teaches you how to create that product. It teaches you how to make the reels, the 7-second reels to like push your product to get sales. And it teaches you a lot about like running a business on autopilot. So a lot of systems and a lot of things in the digital marketing world are things that are not taught in like the wedding industry world. And it's like everything's on autopilot. Like it could be hosted, your digital product could be hosted on Standstore or like Go High Level or ClickFunnels or whatever. And then they're already done for you. So these funnels could take you like years to make and thousand dollars, but you could literally like click a button and it's there for you. Like the upsells, the downsells, the copy. You just have to kind of swap out your photo. So it's very like plug and play. And so the world like moves faster in that world where like it's more scalable and it's less daunting, like all the tech, because they try to make it as easy as possible because like you either make 100% MRR, master resale rights, or you make like a percentage, and it's usually like 70%. So it's kind of like it's always in their best interest for everything to be so easy because they want a percentage as well. So they're like always like adding new like things and like new things to the course and new modules and trying to help. And so it's kind of like a really cool business model.
Oh my gosh, I love
One thing
this.
I wanted to say, like, did you ever think of the quote, like, growing up, like, if you make a lot of money, like, do you feel like that takes away from someone else? Or did you always have the mindset of, like, everyone could win and everyone could have as much as possible? Like, there's infinite amount of resources possible. Like, did you have any, like, thought on that?
I mean, not growing up, but in my later on in life, absolutely. I mean, I just like, Kathy Heller and I are dear friends. And I just think about it's like it's all in escrow for us. And like it's all available. And, you know, there is so much abundance, and that's where having connections like this, where affiliate marketing is so great. Like I'm about to do this beta launch, and I am happy to have affiliates, and I'm happy to affiliate for other people because what comes around goes around, and it's more fun that way.
Yes. So, yeah, with affiliates, that is, like, the concept of just, like, everyone wins. And I love that concept because I feel like some people could be like, I don't want to make that much money because I feel like I'm taking away from someone else or, that mentality. So it's just like getting out of that mindset that like you could receive like anything that you ever want to receive.
I love that. Well, and one thing I will say to that is that it can be very difficult to grow your audience without collaborating and connecting with others, and doing this affiliate stuff is such a great way to grow your audience with qualified leads too. And guess what? Drive them to your podcast, right? So
Yes.
I love it.
Yay. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. Tell everyone where to find you, Kylie, and then I'll do the same.
Yes, I would love to. So, I'm actually this is really exciting this time because I am about to launch my very first course, kind of like I hinted at, and it's going to be a beta course. So it is going to be full of a lot of female entrepreneurs, and I'm basically going to teach you how to build a lot of the systems we talked about today, the quizzes, the bundles. I'm really enhancing SEO, and it's going to be like beta pricing, beta size, so very intimate, a lot of access to me. So I would love to have your audience there, and I would love to have you there too, Chris, so we can talk about that on the other side of this. But if you want to get on that wait list or be there with me live, head to podcastmarketinghub.com/beta, and you'll get in with me, and we'll have a great time and all that good stuff. So thank you for asking. What about you, Chris? Where can I send my audience?
Well, yes, I'd love to be in that chorus with you. But everyone, again, you can find me at Carissa Woo, CarissawOO. And then my photography is Carissa Woo Photography. And then on all the podcast spots, it's Get a Heck Yes.
I love that. Well, thank you, Carissa. This was such a beautiful conversation.
I know, I had so much fun. Thanks, Kylie.